I choose you. Season 7's our destiny. Let's eat some Alolan food. I choose you.
Hello and welcome to I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. My name is Jeremy Zielik, and I'm the host and Dalton Brown of the group. Joining me this week is, as always,
your friend on the show, Ben Montoya.
Ian Davis, the sour kangaroo of the show.
And joining you live from the floor, it's Evan Aubrey.
Woo!
Ooh.
Now, Evan...
Not like a convention floor, the floor.
Oh.
Evan's not on like a dance floor, though I would say immaculate audio production if you were on the dance floor. No conventions, but it looks like a living room. There's a couch behind you. It's very exciting.
That would be my bed.
Oh.
Oh.
That is okay.
Roasted.
I see, yes. Very, very exciting.
I have a
What's it like sitting on the floor? What's it like recording on the floor?
My butt hurts.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a very hard floor.
I want to.
Is it?
I want to ask Jeremy's question again in a different way and see if I get the same answer. What's it like seeing the world from our height?
Oh,
Does your
that's a
butt
good question.
hurting? Is that still the?
Does your butt hurt even more because you're not tall?
That's true. If I had to look up and see somebody right now, my neck would just be craned.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. It's not Christmas yet, but I just thought about saying that because it's the holiday season. 'Tis the holiday season, and
We've reached almost the 12 days of Christmas.
that is true. And I'm gonna add.
I think it's Choosemas.
It is Choosemas.
Whenever you listen to this,
Yes,
quite honestly.
Merry Choosemas. And I wanted to enter our first section with kind of not super holiday themed, but over Thanksgiving I went to a store in Boulder, Colorado called Rocket Fizz Soda, and I bought 4 novelty sodas. So throughout the holiday season, each week on I Choose You, I'll be trying a different novelty soda and tell you
I like this.
if it's any good.
Wow.
So I will say this. I decided that it would be best to try sodas that theoretically are a little out there but could be good. So I didn't get the pus flavored soda or the dirt flavored soda.
Okay, so that's the out there
Yes.
side of your
So these are not
spectrum.
holiday themed beverages.
No, they're not holiday themed, but they are novelty flavors of soda. So they're slightly unusual flavors of soda that I picked up, but I think have promise. So this is kind of like the green chili soda. This may still be disgusting. I'm not guaranteeing it's not. But first up,
Okay, well, and you invoked the green chili soda, which is why I have to ask. There better be a goddamn glass of ice
there is.
behind the camera.
Jeremy.
I got my bottle of soda, my glass bottle of
my
soda that I'm going to
God.
drink out of today.
It's like he doesn't learn, listeners. It's like he really just does not learn.
Does it in spite.
Then
honestly.
did putting the green chili soda in a glass of ice make it better?
No, it didn't. But it's proper soda drinking etiquette, I think. Especially if you're trying to assess whether they're, whether these novelty sodas are worth their salt.
I hope there's no salt in this, but there might be because the first flavor we have is peanut butter. So
okay.
we've got peanut butter soda. It says peanut butter old fashioned soda, pure cane sugar, which is good. You always want sugar in actual sugar in your soda. It makes it that much better. And cracking it open, peanut butter
Crack it
soda.
off, Mike.
Let's give it a taste. Glug glug glug. Pretty mid. Doesn't really taste like peanut butter.
Doesn't taste like peanut butter.
What
Oh my
does it
god, it's
taste like?
exactly like what happened with the green chili soda.
Okay, it's getting a little peanut butter after flavor. Like it's a little like peanut brittley aftertaste. But I think the issue is that peanut butter is such a texture-based kind of experience that once you remove that, you kind of start losing something.
Does it taste like a baseball stadium smells?
Oh.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
It kind of has a metallic tang to it. I will say that.
Oh no.
like blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very strange.
How
Okay, here's
do you
a
think
question
this is
that-
what Andre 3000's flute tastes like?
Oh my god.
Now that's interesting.
Yes. I don't know. It doesn't really taste like peanut butter though, but it isn't it isn't like the green chili soda where that didn't really taste like anything. This does taste like something, but I would not say it tastes like peanut butter.
Is it good? Would you get one again?
Yeah.
No, I would not. Thumbs down.
If someone served it to you without telling you it was peanut butter flavored, and it was in a glass full of ice, would you finish the drink?
I'm gonna finish it here because I spent good money on this soda and
Good money, listeners.
yes, it wasn't blood money; it was good money. And my opinion on it is, if someone like handed me a red Solo cup and was like, "Here's your drink," and and it was just this, I would be like, "This is very strange. What is it?" And if they'd said peanut butter soda, I'd be like, "Oh, I guess so." And then I'd probably leave it on a counter and forget about it.
Okay.
Oh.
Gotcha.
So that's how
It's
that's
got
how I'd
forgettable
say the experience is.
Jeremy, I know there's no impartial parties other than yourself in the apartment, but I think for the next few episodes you need to do like a blind pick. So you like you crack it open without looking at it, and then tell us what you think it tastes like off the bat.
It's gonna be very hard.
That'd be good.
Well, I'll be in New Mexico soon, so we'll be able to do it.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
For at least the next few episodes.
I do.
Are you gonna like get the soda out, like pour it in a glass with ice,
Must be with
Oh
ice.
yeah.
and then give it to me and not tell me what it is?
Well, I can ask you to close your eyes. There's nothing cheating with asking you to close your eyes and play a little game, Jeremy, for a freaking second.
Ben, why are you pulling a jigsaw on me? You're like, do you want to play a game, Jeremy? Taste these delicious sodas.
This is what Saw 11 actually should be.
Yes.
Novelty sodas.
Yes.
Do you think like steering this conversation towards Pokemon for a second? My apologies.
Okay.
Yes.
Pokeball, the original Pokeball, ran into a similar issue we're having in 2023 with like capturing the taste of things in the bottle. Like the first Pokeballs like caught the Pokemon, but like when it came back out, it was just like the skin. Like it was just like like the essence of the Pokemon, but not. They couldn't figure out how to get the full thing in there.
We're on the cusp.
Yeah.
So when it was originally like an acorn,
Yeah.
and they threw it at the Pokemon and it went inside, it
just
like
sucked
destroyed their bones.
Yeah, it just like sucked all the blood out of its body and.
I would
I
say
never really thought about
there's
that.
definitely mishaps, and as we know, the Pokemon actually shrink; they get small in the
Yeah.
Pokeball.
And maybe there's a lesson to be learned from that, which is we shouldn't be trying to extract like the essence of the peanut butter. We just need to make the peanut butter small.
Right. If we can make the peanut butter smaller, then we can put it into the soda.
Fit the peanuts in the bottle.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you think this would be improved? Now, I know you guys can't taste this right now, but do you think this peanut butter soda would be better if there's, like, I took a swig and it had, like, the consistency of peanut butter?
Chunks.
I mean, I've had like stouts that are peanut butter stouts that taste more like peanut butter than what I'm presuming the soda tastes like. So I'm sure
100%.
it can be done.
Yeah, but maybe like a brewing process is what's needed to actually infuse a drink with a flavor like that, because honestly, this is just it's kind of like this weird like nickel-y metal taste and not like really peanut buttery. Maybe it expired. Maybe that's the problem. But
Maybe it expired. You only bought it like a month ago.
yeah, it's
Or
only
whenever
4
was.
weeks old. Or it's less than that. It's only 3 weeks old. That this soda should be fine.
The fact that you restrained yourself for 4 weeks to strategically try it on this episode of this show, I commend you, sir.
Now, I did notice a Best Buy date on it. It was 12/9/23.
Oh,
And it is.
It's not best anymore.
Yeah, 12,
Are you serious?
Yes. It's right here.
that's why.
So the soda can go bad? Explain that to me.
natural.
When does soda go bad?
It is natural. It has pure cane sugar in it.
Did you invert it before opening?
Oh, no, I didn't. Maybe that was the problem.
Oh, all the peanuts were at the bottom.
Yes.
Jeremy.
So you're gonna get one peanutty gulp at the end.
See, that's why you have to pour it
Into
out
a
into the
glass
glass
of
of
ice.
ice. I don't know why I have to
They're not
explain this
wrong.
to you. Soda drinking 101.
Yeah.
But
Ben, for every soda you drink, do you pour it into a glass of ice?
No, but when I don't, it's usually because it's in a can, and that experience is a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like drinking out of a can, it's like the metal on your lip. It's it's different from like a glass bottle that you need to pour out.
Oh shit!
And I can hear the exact cold metal in
and
question.
I think I see what's going on there.
What is
that? What I think
going
it
on
is?
here?
What is it? Oh no, it's not a mug.
Damn.
No.
Oh, everyone thought it was a mug.
Sorry, I falsely implanted mug on screen.
Yeah, you got mug-septed there, Ian.
Yeah. No, this is a Excelsior Shilling Cider Excelsior, a baked apple cider.
Ooh, that sounds delightful.
Wow.
Sorry, baked apple pie. Excuse me. Oh man, that's good.
Man,
That cider company is really, really good.
They had their little cider house not too far from my apartment in Seattle, and it is I miss going there.
God.
Trader Joe's
Yeah.
saved me. They carry some of these.
Baked apple pie edition. Damn.
Holy shit! If you can pick this up, you need to. It's so.
Does
good.
it?
Wow.
That does sound good.
If you're gonna describe the taste, is it like they got a apple pie and shrunk it down?
Yeah.
Put it inside?
Basically,
Okay.
yeah. It's take like that really fresh pressed apple cider from like an apple orchard, and basically just carbonate that.
No.
I mean, sounds pretty
Like
fucking good.
there's a ton of cinnamon. Does taste of small apple pies. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I
I
mean,
wonder how they get the pie flavor in there.
this all this soda talk, and it is Wonka week, here in the
Oh,
real
Wonka
world.
week.
Yeah. So we are mere hours away from the premiere of Wonka sweeping the nation, and I feel like he could put an apple pie in a soda if we're being honest with ourselves.
He would.
Oh man, he would.
too.
He would find a way to shrink down that apple pie and fit it in the bottle.
Yeah.
And make it work.
Yeah, like he shrunk down Mike TV. You could put him in, and then they would put people in the soda, Soylent Green.
If you if you could imagine you had like a quadrillion apple pies and you shrunk them all down to the size of like a molecule.
That is what this tastes like.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Some Wonka tech.
God, I mean, I know you're all super hyped for Wonka. We're gonna be wonking,
Walking each other off
Getting wonked.
all week.
Yes.
Do you think
And I hope that there's like a movie, because it's a prequel. There's a moment in the movie where Timothee's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a soda that makes people fly, and I'm gonna use it in my contract negotiations." I know he doesn't have a British accent in the movie, but that I feel like we need some like deep lore. I need to know why he's called Wonka.
Who named him?
So is the concept of this is that like Willemy Wonka May is like young Willy Wonka, or is he like the American third cousin of Mr. Wonka?
Well,
He is Willy Wonka.
I think he's young, he's hot, he's sexy. I don't know if he has any carnal relations with anybody in the movie. I'm gonna assume not. It's only rated PG. But this is the young Wonka. And from what I understand is that the movie's about how he accidentally gets, because he can't read, he gets put into indentured servitude at a hotel because he signed his life away to work at a hotel on accident because he couldn't read a contract. And he uses his magical chocolate making abilities to extricate himself out of that situation.
I mean, accident, right? I think we all know that Willy Wonka is the kind of sick fuck that he would sign his life away just as a joke.
There's no knowing where my life is going.
Yes.
Exactly.
my prediction, which really isn't a prediction because obviously as celebrities we were asked to go see the movie early.
We were asked specifically to see it.
It does so young Wonka does take place right on the cusp of World War II, and he does weaponize the chocolate. Like, imagine 1,000 blueberry soldiers rolling out.
Yeah. It's a little like we like to call it Wonkaheimer, where
Wonkenheimer.
It's like if I compress this never-ending gobstopper with hydrogen atoms,
Yep.
it will have
Set the atmosphere on fire.
Yes. I'm gonna accidentally turn the world into chocolate. It's like Ice Nine, but he like drops chocolate into the ocean, and all the sea is of chocolate now.
Right. And like, so regular, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is about like, well, what do we do with all these like destructive weapons in a post-war society? but this one's just fucking blood. Like Wonka does shoot someone point blank in the face.
Yes.
With a gun. There's no chocolate involved in that scene.
Oh, I thought chocolate would like spray out the back
Yeah.
instead of like brains.
No, he's replaced the blood of all of his enemies with chocolate.
Chocolate, yeah.
Ooh. Chocolate bending.
Yes. Oh.
Do you think they're going to introduce chocolate bending in the Wonka movie?
Yes. Like when he does like a little tap dance or something and shimmies his umbrella around, he like gets chocolate spurting out of like a fountain or something, and then he like wiggles it around the atmosphere. I think that would totally happen.
I do want some like Mickey Mouse Fantasia, broom mop situation where he's like conducting things to like magically happen.
Yes.
I think,
Yes.
unfortunately, I think this movie implies that there might be some whimsical steampunk stuff going on, but he doesn't actually have magic powers.
Right. Well,
Like-
because like this in the scene, as you'll recall, it looks very much like the Mickey Mouse, and it's like, oh, this is fun magic. But then they like it. You see what's actually happening, and it's all the Oompa Loompa slaves like getting shit done, and he just
yeah.
thinks it's his his magic.
Oh, interesting. Do you think they will introduce the Oompa Loompas? Are we going to get that lore?
Oh, yeah.
Like when they first met?
Hugh Grant is the Oompa Loompa in the movie.
And he,
So like imagine CGI Oompa Loompa with Hugh Grant's face on it. It's like short, but it's Hugh Grant. And he's like, oh, I'm Hugh Grant. I'm an Oompa Loompa. And he like does like little like comedy bits being short.
Did they like meet at the hotel together? Like, are they like?
Ben, we can't spoil it for the listeners. Come on.
Oh, right.
If I had to guess that perhaps Wonka May, if you thank you, Evan, when he brought back a large chocolate bean from Loompa Land, that one of the Oompa Loompas perhaps followed him back across this voyage.
And Jeremy does make a great, like in the movie, it is PG,
Yes.
and even in like if you watch the unrated
That's why
version,
all the blood has been
Returned into
covered with
chocolate. Yeah.
Yes.
but
It's not violence anymore.
in the unrated version with all the deleted scenes, which is the one we got to see for some reason. We didn't see the theatrical cut.
Yeah, it was 4 hours long.
It was 4 hours long. And
This is the director's
Wonka
cut.
is celibate, but in the movie there's only one Oompa Loompa. It is Hugh Grant, and he has to fuck his way into the army that exists in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I did hear that the only two people that know what a naked Oompa Loompa looks like are Hugh Grant and the director of this movie.
Okay. All right.
It's on record,
It's on record.
and apparently it scarred his children.
No, that's what I like to hear. My favorite interview with the director of Wonka is that he says like, when I think Oompa Loompa, I thought of Hugh Grant. I'm like, what an insult to Hugh Grant.
I don't know. Hugh Grant's been on a real like self-deprecating spiral lately, so this just kind of is the icing on the cake.
But this is kind of leaning into
Yes.
it.
yeah.
Well, Willy Wonka May, we love you. I hope that
I do want to see it, or maybe in theaters, just to witness everyone like stand up and applaud when Timothée Chalamet says "scratch that, reverse it," because like it lives in my brain. Like I can't not think about it sometimes. It's iconic.
Is that a real line? Is that just not like him playing Bop It?
It's from the trailer.
Yes.
Oh,
he's like he twirls his finger as he does it because he's a charming young man in this movie.
It goes, scratch that, reverse it.
Well, I hope he brings that Paul Atreides energy to the Willy Wonka movie, so that once he eats enough chocolate, he can fold space, and then
And he becomes a worm.
Oh, will he use the voice
Yes.
as
He used
Wonka? Can Wonka use the voice?
Oh man.
I mean, in the old movie, Gene Wilder got a little like when he got serious, and he was like, you definitely felt the mood change. So I think he could. I think he could pull that off.
Plus, like, the Gom Jabber absolutely sounds like a fucking candy that you
The never ending Gom Jabbar.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, let's move on to the meat of this show. I Choose You, podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. Each week, we select a new Pokemon to cook and eat, randomly selected as well. Then we share our recipes for that Pokemon with one another, and then we vote very democratically about who has the best recipe. And then we all celebrate. It's been a while. I believe, Ben, you won last time, and the Pokemon we're cooking this week is Oranguru. Oranguru? Oranguru. I like that better. I was trying to emphasize the guru more than the orangutan part, but you can go either way.
Oranguru.
Oranguru. Oranguru. Ben, why don't you tell us what your recipe is this week?
Gladly. So Oranguru is like an orangutan. And so I was like not entirely sure where I wanted to go with this at first. But then I started looking at its like fan that it is using to like fan itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I also saw that it's called the Sage Pokemon.
Ooh.
So then from there, and also I was looking at the word Oranguru, and it looks very much like orange, except with guru at the end. So that's also what I started thinking about. I was like, okay, so I can get some sage and orange in the same recipe. Like I'll be in the right ballpark here. So the first thing I looked up was orange sage recipe, and then Google was like, oh, do you mean? And it started showing me like a specific fruit or a specific plant. And it auto corrected it to Osage orange, which I don't know if anyone's familiar with this, but it looks fucking wild.
Well, gotta look it up now.
Yeah, it's, if I can describe it for the listener, it looks like a green wrinkly ball.
Yes, it does look like. This is very strange.
It's a weird looking plant. It's from America. And the Osage part of this orange is because it was used by the Osage people and nation for bows and other wood stuff. And so, but it's a misnomer. It's not actually an orange. And then I found other articles where people called it a horse apple or a hedge apple. But it's not an apple either. It's a mulberry descendant or whatever. So basically there's this weird edible green fruit that I had never heard of. And I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to use this. So it turns out that it has a really bitter taste, like, and it has a very like when you cut into it, it has a weird sticky and bitter tasting like goop essentially that's like in there.
Goo.
But there's also seeds. So if you can pick through all of the weird goopy stickiness and just pick out the seeds, there are folks that I found on Reddit. So
100% true.
Yes.
So it definitely happened, and everyone clapped.
Yes.
But apparently, some people can take the seeds and roast them, a la pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds, and they taste pretty good. So I was thinking, knowing that, I would. So yeah. So basically, I'm going to be making a salad with Oranguru's little fan with the leaves on it for some greenery in our salad, and then we're going to use the Osage orange seeds to make a dressing and top it off with some roasted seeds, a la like a sunflower seed type of thing. So you'll add in, in addition to the greenery, which it looks like the hair of the Oranguru is involved in creating this fan.
Yeah, it uses its hair to make the fan.
Yeah, which I can only assume just makes the greenery taste better and more sage-like.
Nice.
So you're going to want to take away the fan from your Oranguru once it's done making it. And then you're going to use that as the base for your salad. So chop that all up and get it kind of in a looser form. And then you're also going to add in some carrots, some broccoli, cilantro, green onions, some chickpeas, a little dried cranberry action.
Ooh,
And then not your sunflower seeds, your Osage orange seeds. And then you're going to use a dressing that also uses the seeds. You're going to mix it into like a buttery type material, and then add some lemon juice, tamari, maple syrup, sesame oil, some sriracha, garlic, and ginger, and mix that all up into a salad dressing. Top with that. It's kind of like an Asian like Thai salad dressing with the peanut nuttiness. Yeah. So that, and then you serve it on up, and I would like to think that it makes you smarter, because this Pokemon is known for being smart and sage.
Yeah, it's
so that's my recipe.
It's funny reading the Oranguru thing is that apparently the Pokedex entries implies that it can use it. A Pokemon can catch and command Pokemon to do things for it. So it's obviously one of the smarter Pokemon. I don't think any of the other Pokemon we've covered on the show could conduct a Pokemon battle with other Pokemon.
This is like the Caesar of the Planet of the Apes universe.
Oh shit!
Yeah, if this Oranguru was riding a horse with a gun, I'd be fucking all over that.
Planet of the Apes. Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Good callback. And I think that raises an interesting question in the Pokemon world, because in our world we are like, oh, the ape can use tools, so it's more advanced. But and not to get on a soapbox, but I question, is that truly the metric we should be using for what constitutes intelligence in our world? In the Pokemon world, is it the apex of oh, you must when man threw the first acorn and battled someone else with their Pokemon, that was their fire.
That was when humanity fully.
Yeah. It's like 2001: A Space Odyssey, but instead of beating animals to death with bones, they start throwing Pokeballs at animals, and that causes our evolution.
Right.
Kind of situation.
So is that the pinnacle of it?
Yes, I would say so.
Seems like,
because in the sorry, Ben.
Well, I was just gonna say in the Pokedex entry, it does say that originally that when people first found this Pokemon, they thought it was just people out in the woods and stuff, which I again kind of really makes this line a little bit hard to draw between what makes it a Pokemon and what makes it a person.
Yeah, obviously there are the very humanoid Pokemon that we have to consider with, like a Mr. Mime, a Jinx, Gardevoir, all this kind of situation, which, causes uncomfortable feelings within people.
But they're also a primate, too.
Right. But it's also just...
So they're, genetically similar to us as well.
In a world where, there are mice that can, electrocute things, and, dudes with, in Speedos with 4 arms, running around. We're kind of the weak ones, right? We need our tools and shit to survive, but they were just raw dogging the earth with their powers, just no problem. So maybe we're the dumb ones.
Yeah, the minute we hear this ape scream no unorganically, we have to be oh nope, turning into a salad immediately.
Well, I will point out my recipe doesn't actually harm the Oranguru in a physical sense.
Just emotionally.
Not physically.
Yeah.
Well, it maybe just makes them a little angry because they spent so long.
Situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mean prank to pull on this Oranguru, but ultimately he'll live and he'll find more fronds to make his fan eventually.
Yeah, I definitely get that. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, the eating the Pokemon thing, it's all, look, they have to do it. Where else are they getting food? And since plants can also talk to you, you can't argue for vegetarianism. It doesn't exist. The plants are also living creatures that you could commune with. So why can't we eat the more intelligent animal? What if that makes us more intelligent?
Why can't we?
Yeah. Who's stopping us? God? We know God. I can put him in my fucking balls. That's what I'm saying.
Nice.
So, anyway, I think I cracked this nut. Look, Pokemon theology, easy. I can get one Ultra Ball, Master Ball, get Arceus in there, bada bing, bada boom, you're better than God.
They really do need to do like a documentary style movie or something about the creator of like the Master Ball, because I feel like it does have to be like this Frankenstein type character who's like pushing the bounds of what is humanly possible in the Pokemon world.
His balls are just too strong, and they keep catching Pokemon they're not supposed to.
I want it to, could we like make it like Interstellar, like in terms of like grandiose scope,
Oh,
but it's a Master Ball. That's the
Okay. Yeah. So you're saying he like goes to space, and like the power of
harness
a
the
black
elements
hole
to make the Master Ball.
yeah, compresses the energy that's needed to make a Master Ball.
Exactly, and they like actually
Yes.
solve some sort of math equation in making the documentary.
Oh shit, I'd watch that movie. I watched the hell out of that movie.
One year in the Master Ball is like 20 years on Earth.
Oh,
Think about it.
Wow, so there's time dilation? That's something that always concerns me, is that I'm worried that the time moves faster in the Pokeball. So would it be better if time moved faster in the Pokeball compared to the real world, or slower in the Pokeball, or they're equal?
I kind of feel like it moves well. Okay, so if it moved faster, then it would be more like actual animals, where it's like 7 dog years for every 1 human year, whatever. But I kind of think of it in the back of my head of kind of like a genie, where it's like it comes out every 100 years and then it's like, I just woke up, it's like it doesn't like time. It's like it is actually slower for them in the ball.
Yeah.
That's how I'd prefer it.
Yeah.
But I think realistically it would be actually longer.
do you
'cause they're
think
just smaller.
then going to a Pokemon Center and healing your Pokemon is reversing time to a time before they were injured? So they're just stuck in. Yeah.
Whoa!
It's not healing. It's just reversing time.
Yeah. That's pretty fucked up.
Wow. I mean, like in the mangoes, you can like when the Pokeballs are small, they're transparent, and you can like see the Pokemon inside of the ball.
Oh, so it's like a weird embryo situation.
Yeah, they must be able to see you. So like that'd be really fucked if time moved like slower and everyone's like,
It's like that. It's like the Flash.
Oh yeah, it's got to save a bunch of babies from microwaves.
and like
Yeah, exactly.
if time moved differently than when they came out of the ball, they'd surely just throw up immediately, right? Like, I
I don't know if that's true. Look, having real time dilation is hard to do in the real world. You have to send people to space basically to do it. And the thing is that when a person comes back from space, I do imagine that there's a decent probability they might want to throw up after re-entering the atmosphere, but I don't know if that's because of the time travel.
We'll never know.
We probably
I guess
won't. So, well, good conversation. Ian, what's your recipe this week?
All right. Similar to Ben, I noticed the word sage, and I was looking at the fan. But I'm going to presuppose that the fan is literally sage. We're going to make an Oranguru.
Nice.
Oh,
good.
shit.
All right.
It was right there.
What's this roux a component of?
This roux is a component of a sage butter. Excuse me, I had to burp in the middle of that. Sage butter, macaroni, and 4 cheeses.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, butter, Parmigiano Reggiano, breadcrumbs, macaroni, the sage roux, which you just take the leaves, mix it with some butter and flour, stick down this. I mean, we've all fallen into a roux.
Made a sage roux.
Yes, we've been in the roux hole where
Yeah.
you're like, oh god, I've got to make some fucking. My soup needs to be a little thicker, kind of situation.
Yeah, we've all needed something to be a little
Don't they
thicker,
Yes. Yeah.
Make the roux. And then you got your Gruyere cheese and your aged cheddar, maybe some mascarpone, some salt, black pepper. Make your cheese sauce out of the 4 cheeses. Throw the roux in there to get it like real thick and creamy. Make your macaronis. Pour that in like a big bowl. You're not sharing this with anybody.
No.
Pour the sauce over it. Mix it up so it makes the really wild sounds. Maybe you get like a blowtorch and like throw some extra cheese on top to get a little, little crunch on top, little crust.
Nice.
And enjoy.
Question.
Yeah.
Are the macaroni shaped like anything?
Let me look at the Pokemon real quick. Yeah, they're shaped like the star on his head.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
That's definitely giving mac and cheese. Like of this Pokemon like aesthetic, that's the most mac and cheese.
Yeah, I would say the
part of
purple
it.
part isn't very mac and cheesy.
No.
Oh man, that does sound really good. I enjoyed the roux incorporation into the mac and cheese, and we recently did that for Thanksgiving when we were making that mac and cheese I mentioned. There's nothing quite like it. Just gives it that soul foody taste.
So I have a bone to pick. What is it with people and being like, oh, this needs 4 cheeses? Like, why can't you just stop at 1 and be happy about it?
Okay. Well,
Be grateful you have at least 1 cheese.
okay.
I feel like I just got
All
punched in
right.
the stomach.
We got a grink over here. So here's what you need to know. 1 cheese is for the flavor. The second cheese is for the texture. The third cheese is for the meltability. And the fourth cheese is to tie it all together.
The 4th cheese to rule them all.
Yes.
The 3rd cheese to bind them or whatever.
I would say meltability and texture are kind of the same.
Whoa.
Not to push back on your theory, but
Are you sure about that, Ben?
Sure.
And like,
so when you're talking about texture in cheese and it being an issue in mac and cheese, you're worried about it melting all the way through properly, correct?
Well, that could be a part of it, but that's where the meltability of the cheese comes in, is that if you have a meltable cheese, it can ameliorate some of the issues with a less meltable cheese, while keeping whatever texture of other cheeses you might be interested in.
see, what I'm hearing is an issue that I think Kraft has already solved. Is that like you need 4, lesser cheeses to make the ultimate cheese,
And it's a
we've already-
powder.
Easiest.
Yeah.
It's the 4. I agree with Jeremy 100%. And I think to back him up on Ben's question, 1 is for texture, 1's for meltability. The meltability one is like what helps it like permeate the layers, which is what Jeremy was getting at. The texture one isn't doing the texture lifting itself, but if it wasn't there and you just had meltability, it'd be like piss in the it would just be have you ever had really runny mac and cheese? It sucks. That's what what the texture cheese is for. It like
Yeah.
it gives it the mouthfeel and like the thickness necessary to constitute yum yums.
Yum yum ability.
Yeah, Ben, when
the
you go
fourth
to
cheese
the
is for.
restaurant, you're like, waiter, what's the most yum yum dish on the menu? But yeah, 4 cheeses, fuck it. 5 cheeses.
Put them all in there.
Yeah. Why not? Why?
See, I didn't even really think about it from a texture perspective. I just thought because you were dealing with different cheeses, right? You had like an aged cheddar, you had a Gruyere, you had a mascarpone. Like those are different elements of the cheese family, which I think you start to put them together, and it just adds like a richness to the taste. I really wasn't thinking about it from a texture perspective. I gotta be honest, but I see the point.
Just because we can doesn't mean we should.
Evan, let me ask this. Imagine this is gonna be hard to imagine, but what if like your entire like world was reduced to 1 dimension? That would like not be very good.
This is gonna be really hard to
Yeah,
avoid.
but imagine living in a one-dimensional.
Imagine if the
Point.
entire world was a line. Or no, yeah.
A single point.
Yeah.
Just a point.
Yes.
Now, if you add a second cheese, now you're in 2 dimensions, and you're like, okay, like I'm tall again, right?
We've reached the SpongeBob Hoimanoi
Yeah.
Yes.
illustrator.
3 dimensions, almost there, but then we need that 4th dimension so that like time can like move.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So like the 4 cheeses, it's almost like a, you know, art imitating life, life imitating art. It gives us like the human experience.
Shit.
Each cheese represents one of the classical elements in our dish. And
One of the 4 directions.
yes. And if we leave one out, then the world is thrown into balance. We need to be the avatar of cheeses. That's why we need 4 fucking cheeses in our mac and cheese.
The 4 cheesemen of the apocalypse.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, Ian, I'm going to say that was a real achievement. And we're going to move on
Nice.
to Evan's recipe. Evan, what do you have for us this week?
So, Jeremy, I think you actually alluded to my recipe a little bit earlier in the show, because we're gonna make some good old fashioned orange juice.
That's so good.
But it is in fact not orange, as none of the Pokemon is really that orange. But I love how Ben and Ian so far have been like, oh, we're gonna be nice. I'm just gonna take the sage and like leave the Pokemon be. This
You're ready to juice
requires,
them.
yeah, this requires the largest industrial juicer you have on hand, and just immediately toss the ape into the juicer.
Whoa.
And what comes out is like it's kind of like the wheatgrass shot of the Pokemon world, where but like this opens up your mind. Like this is the magic mind of the Pokemon universe. This like purple elixir, right? So like you're focused, you're ready to go. Like no drowsy period. This is like all 100% good for you, just like good mind focusing elixir.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian.
Yes, Ian.
Pulp?
No pulp. It requires the pulpless attachment to your juicer.
Just checking.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pure.
Oh God.
The hair filter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh jeez. You're so brave, honestly.
Oh, thanks.
I'm
I'm imagining think ube flavor distilled into a drink.
interesting.
Like it's like the purple yam that you'll see like baked into a lot of things. It's got it's got kind of like a umami vibe to it. So like umami juice.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ian.
Normal psychic type. So I just want to I love it, but I just want to be clear. Is it the equivalent? Like, are you just drinking animal blood? Or are you presupposing that it comes out as some sort of other liquid that isn't?
I mean,
blood?
it's all in there. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Like, there's definitely some in there,
It's all
but
in
like,
there.
you also are getting you're getting the juices, like, you know,
With a capital J.
It's not that it has it's not that it has like a venom in it necessarily, but it is some sort of extra separate thing that's like maybe in a gland somewhere hidden away.
Okay.
But the only way to get it out is to crush the entire thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's like a glow stick. You gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Activate
exactly. There's a glow stick deep inside.
Some might call it a soul, but I like to call it the inner stick.
Or like it's bones.
Yes.
It's bones. Like
Ooh.
once
The
they get
marrow.
in the grinder, it's just like they crunch up, just like
Oh,
glow
there you
stick,
go.
and that's where it comes
God,
from.
imagine if when you broke a bone, your arm started glowing.
Man, Raves was wild.
Oh man, people would be doing all kinds of shit.
Yeah, that would. I think that would have bad incentives.
Yeah. People on ketamine breaking their arms.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm going to tell you a little story that will lead into my recipe, which I don't know if you've been reading the news lately. There's been a lot going on, obviously, but I think the most important news story is something I brought up earlier, but has gained more traction in the last couple of weeks. And that's the lemonade at Panera that kills you.
Okay.
So
Right.
I'm sure
Yeah.
everyone's familiar with the Panera Death Lemonade, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
We talked about
Yes,
it. Yeah.
Right.
And it's got like 400 milligrams of caffeine in one thing. They're going to keep they're going to keep selling it, but they just put a warning next to the lemonade stand now. So they're
going to keep selling it?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Is it terrible, Ben? Where else you could get 400 milligrams of caffeine for such a low
I
price?
think that just proves that maybe we shouldn't, like maybe that's the fifth cheese, right?
The fifth cheese is 400 milligrams of caffeine, right?
That probably would take you to the
Straight
fifth
to the
dimension.
veins.
Yes.
It would.
Now, I will say this in Panera's ever slight defense, that 400 milligrams of caffeine is less caffeine than a large coffee beverage at Starbucks. So the Panera Death Lemonade is more that you can get free refills than it is with the inherent caffeine content.
And you can drink it faster, right?
Glass. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, sure.
right.
Because it's cool.
You can chug it.
Yes. And, look, let's be honest with yourself.
Don't do that.
Let's be honest with ourselves. This whole kerfuffle has only made me more interested in the Death Lemonade than
Oh my
beforehand.
god, no.
Just like Tide
That's
Pods.
exactly how to get to Gen Z.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the forbidden beverage.
But it's not
forbidden
forbidden. That's
caffeine.
what's so cool about it is I can just go to the Panera
God.
and get it whenever I want. But I want to put a positive spin on this. I'm also making orange juice, but it's the calming orange juice. It's the opposite of the Death Lemonade. It's the relaxation juice. Because the Oranguru, he spends most of his time meditating in the trees. He's hanging out. He only comes down sometimes to participate in philosophical debates with Slow King, which, I bet that would be like fucking rad. That's like, Plato and Aristotle going at it, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think that with the calming Oranguru juice, that we can have a more relaxed, chill, hip, and with it, like dinner time conversation.
So this is like indica juice. Does this still need a label and like an age limit for like how chill?
Yes, it's like that
it
episode
is?
of The Simpsons where he takes sleeping pills and energy pills at the same time, and it's just like back and forth between being excited and tired. These won't make you sleepy, but they will make you relaxed. I think that's the important distinction. Ian, yes.
Is it similar to the Panera Lemonade where if you drink too much of it, like you just like can't move anymore, your heart stops, your bowels like slip out of your body because you're just so relaxed, like
I would say no.
Okay.
See, what I imagine. So, okay, Oranguru. That was not on purpose.
So good.
It's been infected. It's like a speaking it's like a mind virus. It's infused with the psychic powers of the Oranguru, which I think are mostly calming and relaxing in nature, but I don't think you can OD on it. That's my opinion as the creator of this orange juice / lemonade.
I wish there were more press releases from the makers of beverages that was like, I don't think so. And that's my belief.
You're probably fine.
Well,
the real question is whether you're providing free refills.
Yes, I guess that is
Unlimited free refills.
I guess that is the real
one per
question.
customer.
My question is it like an anti-caffeinated beverage where, like, caffeine, like, it gets you kind of like hyped up, jittery, on edge, all that kind of stuff. Maybe like if you had 2 equals amounts of the Panera Death Lemonade and the Oranguru calming juice, like if you
They
drank
like
them,
cancel each other out.
yeah, and you drank them at the same time, nothing would happen.
Does it
It'd be like if you just drank wine.
is it like Adderall? Does it like am I gonna do better on my test?
Well, I'm not going to say it's fully in that regard, but I would say like it would help you in the regard where you're not stressed out about your test. You're more relaxed.
So yes, it would help, is what you're saying.
It's like
Hear that, kids?
Yeah.
beta blockers.
Yeah, maybe. I would say a little bit like beta blockers, but not with the sleeping, like sleep help situation that those that those insinuate.
All right. Well, that is an interesting concept.
Yes, Ben?
Did you say how the Oranguru itself was involved?
Yes, I meant to just do this. It's psychic and has psychic abilities. So what I would do is I'm not as hardcore as Evan. I don't want to just mash its blood into my drink. What I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare a delicious, orange ginger lemonade, which is a product you can purchase at the local store, Jumbo Cafe. I almost said Jamba Juice, like a nerd. Jumbo Cafe.
Your local Jamba Juice.
And you're going to take your orange mango lemonade to the Oranguru, and you're going to meditate with him about the lemonade. And his psychic powers will be transferred to the lemonade and give it the relaxing properties that we need.
So this is quite literally cooking and eating with the Pokemon.
Yes.
Not necessarily the Pokemon.
Yes. You are together. Yes, Ian.
This is like Oprah and Deepak Chopra.
Yes.
In this restaurant where he's there, and I guess the waiter has to bring over the lemonade with every order, and they have a little moment, and then they take it out. We have to pay him, right?
No,
because he's smart.
Pokemon.
No, but he can use tools and shit, so he'd definitely be like, I want some of the green stuff. I want some of that.
Give me that.
Capitalism affects them too.
Yes.
I don't know.
I would think that you just take a big case of it at the beginning of the day to get it meditated, so you don't have to do it multiple times during the day.
So it's kind of like he's like, you employ him part-time, so you don't have to pay him benefits or anything. You keep him under those hours.
Yeah, he only works 30 hours a week kind of situation.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my recipe. Calming, not charged, orange lemonade.
I like it.
Nice.
Ben, where I'm gonna break kayfabe a bit. Ben, where's the poll? There it is. I was like, where is it? It didn't.
It's on the chat.
It didn't pop up until right now. I'm sorry. Okay, let me do a quick recap. From Ben, we have Oranguru, Osage. Is it apple? Was it Osage?
Osage orange.
Osage orange seed salad. From Ian, we have Oranguru, 4 cheese mac and cheese. From Evan, we have Oranguru, which is Oranguru ground down into a delicious pulp. No pulp, excuse me. And for me, we have the Oranguru calming lemonade. So I'd like everyone to please vote. And hopefully Ben will have an answer for us, who won.
I actually do not. There's no possible way I can at all tell you who won, because everyone voted for each other, and it's a 4-way tie.
Wow. Good. Is that our first 4-way tie?
I don't think.
No, that's definitely happened before.
It's rare though.
Maybe the first one of the season.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
I think
for
maybe
sure.
the first one this year,
If-
and the year's almost over.
To the listeners right now doing the iconic yearly I Choose You binge drinking game, you do have to drink the remainder of whatever bottle you guys were working with.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Uh-oh, it's the Panera lemonade.
Exactly.
Do you guys? We missed Four Loko, but we got Panera Def Lemonade.
born too late for Death Loco. Born too soon for Space Juice.
Yes, born too late for Four Loko. Born too soon. No. Born
Just born too
yeah,
soon.
just
Yeah,
born too
true.
soon. But would you trade the Panera Def Lemonade for a Four Loko, like actual Four Loko?
No.
Okay, you prefer
No,
the
probably
Panera
not.
Def Lemonade?
Yeah.
I mean,
Four
I guess
Locos
I
not
would,
good.
just in the sense that I could break it up over the course of a day. Like, I don't handle caffeine very well in the first place. It makes me very anxious. So, like, I feel like I could, like, maybe over the course of a week,
Okay,
just, like, take little
It's
sips.
got one of those resealable pop tab
Yeah.
things.
Right.
I just
Whereas
imagine
a Four
Ben
Loko, I
purchasing
would
a
have
Four
to
Loko
keep
and
drinking
being
it.
like, I need to spread this out over the course of today.
Well, but that's the thing is I can't do that with a Four Loko. It would go flat. It would be disgusting. I wouldn't drink any of it. So, but that's why I wouldn't trade.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it.
All right.
Could you with a glass of ice?
Ooh, interesting.
No.
All right. Good to know. Well, this week I'll really try to remember to put the poll in the Discord for it to be voted upon. I didn't do that last time because I simply forgot. But I'll do that this week, and then you can vote for who has the best recipe. Now let's move on to Whalelord's Mail Horde, where we read your email sent into ichoosepod@gmail.com. That's ichewspod@gmail.com. Evan, can you read this email from Mike?
Mike says, "Ho ho ho, boys! Santa Mike writing in with a little recipe for your holiday festivities. Oranguru is a pretty cool Pokemon in my opinion, made even cooler by its innate intelligence that has given it a power not possessed by most other Pokemon: the ability to delegate and order other Pokemon around. No trainer necessary. For these reasons, valid ethical concerns, I have chosen not to eat an Oranguru. So I googled orangutan recipes just to see what came up. The results may shock you, but not really, because it was mostly cocktails of different varieties.
Oh, okay.
I found a recipe for a fun-looking cocktail we're going to call an Orange Guru. To start off with vodka, some triple sec, a few ounces of Oranguru rice, squeeze of lime, grenadine, and mix these in a shaker and shake well. Pour into a tall glass.
What is what is Oranguru rice? Is that just like
Oranguru ice?
Oh.
Like a few
Oh.
no, they're trying to. Oh no, I misread it. It's basically Oranguru
It's
orange juice.
It's orange juice.
Oh,
and orange
gotcha,
juice.
gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
There we
gotcha.
go. Okay. Like the glass, so the glass should be tall. Like the glass should be Evan sized.
That's tall.
Then we're going to finish with a floater of a dark rum gently poured on top.
Nice.
Garnish with an orange slice. Enjoy festively. P.S. I got to meet one of my personal heroes today, Krampus himself, and it was excellent. Lots of holiday joy, Santa Mike.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Oh, thank you for writing in, Mike. Always appreciate it. Now, let's move on to Pickamon, where we pick next week's Pokemon. Evan, can you get me a number between 722 and 809?
Yes. Typing over my mic.
We
800.
800 flat, you say?
800.
Okay. Next week, we got one of ye oldie Ultra Beasts again.
Nice.
And
We're gonna go through all of the Ultra Beasts. I feel
guess
like
so.
before the end of the season.
there's
Like,
You kind of have to.
There's quite a few of them. There's 11 of them, and there's only, I think, 110 new Pokemon in this generation. So it is like a decent chunk of them. I think it's it's like 10%. Next week's Pokemon, is Necrozma, which is the kind of evil death Pokemon. It's pretty spooky. So really getting to the holiday spirit with this one. So send in your Necrozma recipes to
it's like the ghost of Christmas future.
Ooh, there you go. To ichoosepod@gmail.com. All right, let's do the plug section of the show. Tell us where we can find you on the internet. Ben.
You can find me on the internet at Ben C. Montoya on Twitter or Instagram.
Cool. Ian.
Find me at Musician Davis on Instagram.
Excellent. Evan.
I'm gonna plug our new I Choose You Pokeburger shirt, available on ichooseyou.menu. Go to the store page. They just came in the other day. They're looking sweet.
Hell yeah.
So get yours while supplies last.
Hell yeah.
Excellent. Thanks so much for that. And I think you can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Velocity Prime 1, on Tumblr Velocity Prime No 1, and on the oh my god, I almost said the Ashicado. Ashfocado.
That's not a real website.
It's not. The-avocado.org. You can find my writing. The-avocado.org. Jeremy Zielik. And with that, we wrap up another delightful episode of I Choose You. Thank you so much for listening. You can find us on your favorite podcast apps, including Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or your Spotify or podcast catcher of choice. If you want more I Choose You goodness, may I suggest checking out our social media pages, I Choose Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, Threads, and Blue Sky. All there, all the time. Fucking being blasted in the face with that.
Not all the time.
I Choose You goodness.
All the time.
We're never logged off. We never forget to do something, ever.
Terminally online.
If you want to be a part of the I Choose You community, head over to the I Choose You Discord. Links are available in the episode description. You can hang out with fellow listeners, participate in community events, send in recipes, all that on the I Choose You Discord. Lastly but not leastly, Evan mentioned it, but go to our website, ichooseyou.menu. ichooseyou.menu has a full episode archive and merch store featuring our newest shirt, the Poke Burger. If you want to be the hottest sensation of 2024, I think a purchase of this shirt will be an important factor. So that's ichooseyou.menu. All right.
And we should say the shirt was designed by Eduardo Soldati.
Yes.
I think that's how he pronounced his name. So definitely go follow them on social media as well if you really like the design.
Yes. All right. Let's wrap up the show. And we're done. I've been your host, Nalton Brown of the group, Jeremy Zielik.
I've been your friend on this show, Ben Montoya.
I've been your sour kangaroo, Ian Davis.
And I'm still on the floor, Evan Aubrey.
And to all the listeners out there in Radioland, in a while, Totodile.
We've been consuming, presuming, leguming, cracking cans and having feasts, munching, crunching, slurping, Pokemon and Ultra Beasts. I choose you. Season 7's our destiny. Let's eat some Alolan food. I choose you.